So what's new? You finished The Real World. Now you're on Battle of the X's. We've been watching all the time.
That was my question on my cue card.
Go ahead, Joe.
What project is he currently working on? Question mark.
That's how this is going to be. We're going to read straight from the index cards?
No. It's the first time he ever has a cue card. Okay, so
don't give me a
seriously,
cue card.
how's the challenge going for you?
It's good. It's definitely a different world than the Real World Explosion was. It's a totally different game. I figured I was going in there, it was going to be the same thing. When you got $250,000 on the line, you'd be surprised how people are different. So it's a totally different ballgame.
Question.
Shoot.
How was it with the tension between the old people and the new people?
Vets and the rookies nonsense?
Yeah. The vets and the rookies.
It's exactly the way it looks on TV.
So they're total you know what.
So MTV is not like telling us about the wrong story.
No, they're not kidding on this one. The veterans pretty much just look at us rookies as if we're nobody and we need to prove ourselves.
So they're overly cocky?
So 100% overly cocky, every last one of them. And it drives me nuts.
So how did you cope with that? How did you keep in the good mind?
The only thing you can really think of is $250,000. If you can last through it's more mind games and more politics than anything else. Mm-hmm. And if you can survive that part of it, you can fight your way to the end and win $250,000. So for $250,000, those veterans can be as cocky as they want. I'll just block it out. Now,
what would you do with that $250,000? Like, you get that trophy.
Oh man, I can't say that kind of stuff around here. I don't need. Honestly, I would just literally try and help like my family out and stuff like that. I mean, everybody knows what went on with my mother passing away. So I told them when I first got in there, if I was to win any of this money, I was donating a big portion of it.
Now, how was it like, I guess, really exposing the insides of your family, the insides of your head, and the insides of your heart on The Real World when your mother did pass away?
The infamous question. It was literally the hardest thing I've ever dealt with in my life. I mean, losing a parent it's just something that you could never prepare for. Mm-hmm. You can never prepare for it. And then to be across the country and have to get a phone call telling you what happened, and I wasn't even there, and then on top of that, it's like you get that, and I just broke down, and then I have 3 cameras that are 4 feet away from me in my face trying to get everything, and the last thing I want to do is sit there and cry with 5 cameras in my face. It's, to be blunt, it sucked. It completely sucked. I mean, it changed everything. I was going out there thinking I was going to have the time of my life, and then 2 weeks in, I got the worst phone call I've ever gotten in my life.
How is it like being on the show to begin with?
Being on the show itself is awesome. I mean, it's great. We had fun out there. I met people that I met and hung out with 6 different people that I never would have hung out with in my life. And yet we all connected on such a great level. And, when everything did happen with my mother, I had only known them for 2 weeks. But they were literally they were a rock. They were the rock that I hung on to because they were there for me, and I barely knew them. But they all put everything aside and just stayed there with me to comfort me and make sure I was okay.
Now, these relationships that you build on the show, are they upkept, after the show's over? Like, you guys still in contact as much as you were, immediately after, or does it kind of
I want to say it slowly fades a little bit, but it's one of those things where you'll never lose touch.
So you'll pick up where you left off.
Yeah, we experienced something together that nobody gets the chance to do. And I still talk to Corey and Tom all the time. I see them all the time. I have some work coming up with Corey within the next 2 months. So I try and keep in touch with them. But then again, you have people that I didn't exactly get along with on the season, so clearly I'm not going to sit here and text them every Saturday and wonder what they're doing.
So what do you have coming up for the rest of the year?
Actually I have some film and stuff coming up, but I can't really give any information about it.
It's always secret.
I don't like this.
It has to be.
What do you answer? Oh, what do you have coming up? I got some stuff. Can't talk about it. Oh, okay.
I think that's the worst part about being on this side of the interview. It's just
the same answer, and we understand. It's just
right. But see, you guys look at it from that way. Imagine how it feels knowing what you're doing and not being able to tell anyone.
That's true. That's hard.
My father asks the same questions, and he's like, I leave and go to LA for 5 days, and I come home, and he's like, so what'd you do? And I'm like,
can't say.
I hung out in LA. And every day my dad wants to know, so what'd you do here? What'd you do there? And he tries to slip questions in during commercials when I'm watching TV, try and make me slip. It's even harder from my point of view because I can't say nothing, and I want to so badly.